Hello, Redeemers. We wanted to start this video off by giving our condolences to the victims and all parties involved in the Uvalde shooting in Uvalde, Texas that week that took 18 children and one adult, I believe.
Three adults.
Three adults.
19 children.
19 children, 3 adults. It's not the only tragedy we had in the past month. We also had the shooting up there in Buffalo, New York, where it was, I believe it was 7 adults that passed, that lost their lives.
Not like, it was like a couple of weeks, not even.
Maybe 2 weeks, I think, yeah. And, you know, during these times, it's good to just hold on to the people you have, you know, and everything like that, because tomorrow isn't promised, and it's not always, you know, a fault of our own. So without further ado, we're going to get into Spring Day. 안녕, 로입니다.
Nick.
I'm Jarek. I'm Zach.
And I'm Mary Jean Uzumaki.
Yeah, if this is your first time on the channel, make sure you guys subscribe. It's probably your 20th video. Just subscribe. It helps to like push out more content, and also like it just is. It's lit here. Like clearly, you keep coming back.
Drop a comment.
Yeah. Also, make sure you guys check out the Patreon.
Idioma.
Okay.
No.
See, we need more of that flair. Make sure you guys join the Patreon. We're gonna be doing the live performance of Spring Day on there. We might jump into the dance practice today too. Also, it's a lot going on. As y'all can see, like Todd Nas is in here, Kurt and Keith is in here. So if they're, you know, some of your favorites and you want them to be able to jump in on some of the Spring Day action, let me know. And it might be like a full panel with all of them involved, so they also get an opportunity to watch Spring Day. They've seen it, I think, 2 or 3 times at this point,
We've all seen
live performances and stuff like that. But we haven't watched the MV together, and I know y'all might want their input, especially when we get into some of the stuff behind the story. Move
this away,
I'm thinking like, what would Keith do here?
Wow. Man, it's a good video. It's a positive video.
Sorry, I was thirsty. I'm thirsty for more BTS content.
It sounds like a memory. That's
Zoom in. Shit.
It sounds. I love that nostalgicness, you know, like a throwback sound.
Yeah, that layering.
video is kind of.
I like the when they do the yeah. It's the best part of the song to me. Hey.
That voice though.
That ooh.
Oh,
I love that ooh. Shit. The pink hair. Shit, around the way. He too was a dancer.
I was gonna say, didn't we hear this before?
We heard the
heard
live
the,
version of it, and seeing the joint where they was dancing and shit too. Before we get like into the heavy stuff, I think we probably can just talk like about the video and everything like that, and then we can let that conversation, segue into it. Yeah, this song is beautiful. I'm not gonna cap. When I first heard Spring Day, before I found out like what the backstory was, and before we like seen the live version, it wasn't really like nothing that jumped out at me. I thought it was a beautiful track. It is one of those joints. The more and more I listen to it, I start pushing it up further into my BTS, top 40 or top like 50 tracks.
They got that many songs.
Bro, I got 60 BTS songs.
Yeah, I got a lot of
If somebody were to ask you name
the yearly one by the beginning of August, and the last one is in December when we do the 2022 joint.
Yo, Nick, if somebody or anybody who wants to answer the question, if somebody were to ask you how many BTS songs can you name, how many would you name?
I can name like. Well, you asked Nick. My fault.
I mean, we can all answer.
Yeah.
I feel like I might be able to name close to 80.
Yeah.
I think 80, maybe 100, depending on if I'm allowed to say covers and other things too, or if you're just talking about their songs. I feel comfortable enough to think I can do like 80.
Yeah, definitely.
And what about y'all? Y'all, this is a safe place. Y'all could be like 10, whatever y'all.
Keep it a bean. Yeah, my John like
I got
my John
10. Like off the top of my head right now,
I only
under
know
10.
Blood, Sweat, and Tears off the top of my head.
Damn.
I feel like that's impossible.
Anything else, I have to just like.
Oh, you gotta see it.
Yeah.
Well, that says a lot about Blessing Tears with the Sticks. Yeah.
I think I
But
got
not even none of you can't name a couple of the J Hope songs.
Yeah, that's what I just thought about too.
So it's like, don't put me on the spot.
What's wrong with you?
No, I'm high, so it doesn't matter right now. But no, I don't remember though.
yeah.
I have to.
Yeah, I'm definitely like.
Especially if it's not in English, like respectfully, like I'm not gonna.
No, I get you.
I'll give you a good 5, probably 10.
You're
Yeah.
lying.
Like, just
What you mean?
You talking about yours?
Like how many BTS songs? Like off the top of my head, like if somebody off the street came up to you, like, yo, name
BTS.
10 BTS songs right now, I could probably be like,
DNA,
yeah.
Blood, Sweat, and Tears, Fake Love, Lie.
You could probably do
Stigma.
more, but me, I'm saying.
No,
me,
I'm just
like,
saying how
sorry.
fast they gonna start flowing like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Off the top of your head, can you,
But I
what's
feel
your
like if they
5?
say that.
All right, now let's play a game before we get into anything darker.
Oh my God, Jigsaw.
I want to play a game. Off the top. Name 5 off the top of your head.
Butter, Dynamite, Make It Right, Permission to Dance, and I don't want to name no solo Johns. Hold on, I'm not.
Solo Jones count because they're on
Okay.
albums.
Okay, man.
That's a group Jones. That's 5.
Yeah.
Name 5 more.
Still in Nick damn chill.
I counted. No. You on me or not?
I knew he was a little toxic.
You can name solo joints. They on albums if you know what I mean.
That was it.
This is gonna be fun editing. Before we jump into anything else, how do y'all feel about the music video? Before we get into like the backstory and everything.
Well, I guess I'll go first. I like the video a lot. The song was very, very beautiful, as Nick said. Can we play it, please? Because I think my favorite shot was the snow shot.
Yeah, no, mine was pink hair Jimin.
Yeah.
This snow shot is God tier though.
Some of these shots,
especially this
fire.
long shot. Like I love these wides.
I was.
V was walking through the snow. All right, V. Yeah. See, there go another. My bias once
Just
again.
the framing of
Going
it.
crazy. They know what they doing. But
Everything
the
is so
drone
symmetrical.
shot from above, that joint's fire. I like this. I
I
love
don't
it
know.
a
I don't know.
lot.
The fuck I just said that was
What I was gonna
Jinder, the
say.
staircase joint.
What I was gonna say is like this video was so. It's shot so calmly and peacefully, but every shot like you could stop it and it's like I don't know like it's very calming, you know.
Shit.
Just because of all the straight lines you see, the symmetry, like there's a lot going on as far as the visual storytelling goes. It's very dope. The song was it had great parts. It had some parts where I was like, I feel like I've heard it before. But I'm more fascinated with all the visuals in it. Cause when did this drop again?
2017.
Yeah,
2017.
A little lower. So.
2017, you know, for them, I'm trying to figure out how to say this.
It was a big year
Not
for
like
them?
an ass. No, I just feel like this video is so ahead of its time for them. You know, like it matured very well. You know how some videos you could be like, yeah, that was 2017.
And it looked like 2017?
Yeah, this doesn't. This feels like it could come out today.
It's
You mean?
timeless, actually. It had a timeless feel to it.
Mhm.
I guess yeah, you could call it timeless. That's really pretty much the best way to describe it because it just feels like it doesn't sound like 2017 BTS. You know, it sounds like kind of today. I mean, which is not wrong with that because they definitely know their lane. They know what to do good at. I wouldn't download the song, but this is one of those where I feel like you can't watch the video without the song, and I can't hear the song without the video. I'd have to watch it together because it's a very calm. I feel calm watching it. Like it gives a very almost like weird. I'm sorry, Nick, to cut you off. It's like kind of a trance, like a weird. I don't know how to describe it. It's like a weird.
No, you said motion cam. No, I get it, bro. Like that trance, you feel like you locked in.
Yeah. It's like a trip.
Yeah, you was there. I ain't gonna
Yeah. Just to finish off my thought, it does feel like a trance, like I was saying. But it feels timeless and it also feels nostalgic at the same time. That was a word that I kept saying while I was watching it because it just feels like something I remember, but something I don't at the same time. It's just, yeah.
I get you. No, I was gonna say before you jumped into this below that it's wild that RM used like the Snowpiercer reference and everything earlier on there, and then for them the whole theme of like kind of leaving winter to get like into spring and everything like that, which literally is kind of what Snowpiercer was too. Whatever them was trying to leave the ice age to kind of get into better times, and then fighting you know, the core value of like fighting for oppression and everything and stuff like that too. And then just them kind of being on a train and everything too. Like it was kind of, I was just like, I'm pretty sure.
It's either Snowpiercer or Hogwarts.
Yeah. Yeah, all I have to say is that I'm not sure if like that was done purposely or whatever, but I kind of do like that from the MV as well. Yeah, that was a Kurt moment. I'll tell you about.
You went
This was a really beautiful song. It's hard not to get emotional, you know, when this song is playing, especially, you know, if you have people who passed away. Or even just think about the loved ones that's here, you know what I'm saying? How crazy the world is. You just really never know. So this song is really deep and just makes you want to grab your loved one. So the video is beautiful. Everything is everywhere they're at is just like memorizing. I'm sorry. But yeah, I like this. I love this song actually.
Yeah, when I didn't know the backstory to everything here, and I just listened to the song straight out, I didn't watch the MV or anything before. I kept thinking this was a graduation song, especially how it ends, how it kind of opens up and goes into the like, oh. I always felt like it was like everybody, you know, like throwing their caps up or shaking hands and just being like, damn, I'm not going to see a lot of y'all again.
I still feel like it could be a graduation song though.
Well, guess what, guys? You're right. Halfway. Well, you're not wrong at all, but you know what I mean. Like so, well, I'll give my spiel first. First, I didn't gravitate to it when we watched the Tiny Desk performance, just because I couldn't really hear it, and it's, you know what I'm saying, it's a live performance.
And it's full lessons.
Yes, thanks. But yeah, couldn't hear it in its full essence and everything like that on the Tiny Desk mics and stuff. And then there was another Spring Day live performance we watched after that. And then we watched the 2020, for the class of 2020. Then we watched Mama.
And then the Mama Jones had it too.
So I've seen it performed, and so I downloaded it a while ago. And you know, obviously we see the comments about people, you know, telling us to. So I was just like, all right, I didn't heard the song. I just want to watch a video or anything in connection to it. But I just think the song is definitely so beautiful. Before getting into like the meaning behind it and everything, just the way they sang it. Everyone's part, this is one of those songs where everyone's part just kind of hits the same for me, whether it be RM's rap and then you read his lyrics and you see what he's talking about and everything like that. It just hits hard, especially because he had a full verse to himself. Sugar and J Hope split the second rap verse. But what really, really got me was the vocal line on the hook. I feel like for a song like this with the double meanings, but even anytime you're making a song that you really want to hit people in the heart, you have a part of that song that everyone sing. So, or that, you know, that people are always saying. When you hear "I'll Be Missing You," Puff and Faith, every night I pray, every single day. So you know, you have a bunch of parts of that song, to be honest. But you know, just like that, you always want to have something memorable. With this, it's "I Miss You," but in Korean it's "Pogo Shipda." So Pogo Shipda, and then Jin in the background, he really smoked it, just because you say it high and then you go low. Pogo Shipda, like that's, I love the contrast to that. It's very pleasing for the ears. But this song is somber and it's partially sad, but it's us also kind of like there's a lighter day.
Mm-hmm.
Or, you know, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. We're here. The hard times is over. Kind of feel.
That's exactly why I said, even to my naked ear, hearing it gave graduation song, because that's how like those tail end graduation songs are, where it's like, this is something very, very sad because it's the end of something, but it's also the new beginning for other things, and it opens up other doors. And I think production wise, if you were naked, like, you know what I mean, to what was going on, you kind of can just hear that. That's
why you
dope.
just hear that, and then that's always
it's very a
triumph.
transcendent triumph, like that.
You feel like you triumphed something you overcame. But so this song was written by RM. He wrote it for his friends from school that he missed. So it was just talking about like after graduation, life after graduation and stuff like that, and how he misses people. Why is it not playing over? Future Nick.
So he wrote everything, including the singing parts.
He wrote the
He
song.
writes everything.
Yeah. He wrote this whole song. I believe there might have been one more lyricist or someone to help, but from what I saw, it was just RM.
Yeah.
that
Boy,
wrote
your
this.
question was, does he write they shit when they sing too? Probably. Yeah.
They all, yeah, he writes a bunch.
But-
He's one of the main writers.
It's wild for a rapper to be writing and singing stuff.
Yeah, I feel like, especially with this kind of song, especially if this feels like a song where you could kind of let all of them individually even do something, like write something for it, especially if you're trying to remember someone in a good way or just feel good about a loss or something like that. You know what I mean? I feel like all of them individually could tap into that, and they could have wrote it. I would have liked to seen that. I didn't know that it was just all RM. That's kind of
No, but it's
dope.
it's not always like that. It's
No, yeah.
sometimes it's like people had a possibility to do something else.
Yeah.
But when at least the other stuff we watch, how they regard RM in the group is just like he's a writing genius. He kind of can do no wrong with the pen. Like, yeah, I get what you mean. Sometimes the artists crave for creativity may be like a thing, but sometimes if some shit ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
Too. And I think it with solo works, they own like mixtapes clearly and shit. They get opportunities to kind of do what they want. But the title tracks, especially around this time, would have just been kind of RM doing shit.
Yeah, this was after Wings. This was the year 2007, like you said, when they really just became the international phenomenon like they are today. But what I was saying was RM wrote this song while he was out in a park, and it's just about the experiences with people that you parted ways with a while ago and how you missed them and everything like that. I wrote that song while I was thinking of my friends, and I think that's dope because, like you said, it definitely feels like a graduation song. Because some graduation songs are sad as hell anyway. It's just kind of like end of the road. The fact they ever made us sing that, The Climb, I could go just all these type of songs that have that somber.
My favorite one we can't sing anymore.
The R. Kelly one.
Hey, but yeah, he writing this for his friends and just thinking about something like that. I think that's dope. Now, when it comes to the video, the main theory is that this video is dedicated to victims of the Sewell ferry tragedy.
That's what I was going to ask you too, because sometimes, and like you said, sometimes you got to see who you getting the content from. People were telling this to me like, no, this was dedicated. But when I read and was talking to other people, they said that this was a theory that it was related. And if it is, that's dope.
Yeah.
But, I'm glad you started it with it was a theory because I didn't know.
Well, the reason why I say theory, obviously, because like I said, the video very well could be, but some people try to say that the song is dedicated. When I was like, that's not.
Okay.
It correlates to this story, but it's not. That's not why he wrote the song. He wrote the song before it. So, but anyway, like I was saying, he wrote the song and dedicated it, or it's suspected that they dedicated this video to the victims of that Sewell ferry tragedy. And that was a tragedy in April of 2014. A ferry capsized with 300 school kids on it, and
I remember that.
It's still
I
crazy.
think I remember.
Yeah, 300 school kids that capsized. And while that's already like a tragedy that it just happened itself, it was a big thing because the captain and the crew fled and got away, and no one stayed to maybe having some things wrong, but from what everything I read in the newspapers, all that
They
stuff,
grabbed
or the
a
articles,
boat or something.
huh?
They escaped.
They left the boat and left the everyone on the passengers to drown. They left them to drown.
Someone made it too seem like that they told the captain ahead of time that like the boat was like either over capacity or that things was kind of go left, and it just was whatever.
It was a lot of purported foul play into it.
terrible.
So it became obviously 300 people died in general. It's going to be bad, but 300 school children died, lost their lives. You know what I'm saying? And no one came out to help or anything like that. People were just frantically calling and begging for help, and they didn't get any help. So that just makes it even worse. Then you got the captain and the crew getting away.
How do you just leave that situation?
Huh?
Like, how do you just leave
Bro,
that
it
situation?
got worse. The vice principal who had picked that trip for the kids to go on, he ended up killing himself because he hung himself he killed himself because he
Because of
couldn't
guilt.
face it. Yeah, because he planned the trip and stuff like that. It became like a really big thing because the Korean government tried to cover up or hush people talking about it.
Probably didn't want
And
that incident to be something like
yeah,
that's a
'cause
major
once it
incident.
got into international news, something like that would get around. Once that got to international,
You'll have
news,
American people start sticking their nose in
Just
it.
people from everywhere just saying
but I'm just saying
stuff.
certain countries
Yeah.
I know, England, certain with a little bit more like, y'all need to do something almost.
and I think it'll just be more bad.
And it's a bad look.
Bad press, and a bad look than anything. But you had that going on. So anybody that spoke out about the tragedy or, they were silenced, blackballed and everything like that.
God bless you.
In the immediate years after. So this is 3 years later when they come out with You Never Walk Alone and Spring Day. But 3 years later when they came out with You Never Walk Alone and Spring Day, and it was just, it dropped around the same time or the anniversary of the tragedy, and you see stuff in the video like, you see Sugar was on that pile of clothes. It looked like the washed up clothes. And you saw the sneakers. It was because all of their clothes began to wash up on the shores and stuff a few days later after the boat capsized and stuff like that. So
How long were they out there though?
I forgot how long it took. I think it was like an hour or something like that. They said the boat started capsizing and then it went down. They said it had made too many right turns on it, or left turns, whichever one is worse. I think it was right turns. I'm tripping right now. But yeah, so that was what happened with the tragedy, and people were trying to talk about it. They got silenced, and
That's a crazy
BTS took that
situation, man.
stand.
There's so many questions. Like, at no point you didn't question like what you were doing or like the boat. Like you said, it was over capacity.
Yeah, and they knew.
You didn't question that.
Yeah, I don't want to turn this video into something else. This is just like you gotta be a real piece of shit, like to kind of like leave kids. I would literally die if it meant like saving 5 or 6 kids. If it meant saving 1 or 2 kids to put on the boat and I had to float or something like that, I don't give a fuck if I had to float for hours. Like I feel like you're supposed to protect the youth. Like I've had my time on Earth. These are babies, essentially. Like you know what I mean. So that's just a fucked up
That's
thing,
a
man.
crazy
That's
thought
wild.
process.
You said it was the captain and his crew.
They were all
Be like, I'ma leave, you know?
And that goes back to this too. So all of them were high school kids, and they would have. I actually think it was some middle school kids on there too, but mostly like high school kids from a local school. And this song was also dropped around the time where they probably would have been graduating. Some of the students would have been graduating and everything like that.
I'm sorry, this is kind of like what just happened here. Like, why do I have to drop my kid off to school to not get a call to say? I don't even want to say that because this just sounds wild. Like, oh, I can't come pick my child up from school because something happened. Excuse me, like.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you was gonna get into how no one went in there for like in 45 minutes.
Didn't even get to that part. It's like I signed a permission slip for them and expected their safety to be.
Just like you signed your kid death warrant almost by allowing
I
them to go on a
expected
trip.
his safety to be in your hands, and what
How
happened?
you let somebody do that? Like it's one thing to you don't know about it and it happens, but
Something
if
that's
you,
completely out of your control.
yeah, if you kind of know ahead of time, if people have warned you, or then to like see it and then like turn a blind eye to it or just act like it's not happening, it's kind of like, bro, like
It says out of
you gotta
400
feel something. You mean?
out of 476 passengers and crew, 304 died in the disaster, including 250 students from Danwon High School. Of the approximately 172 survivors, more than half were rescued by fishing boats and other commercial vessels that arrived at the scene approximately 40 minutes before the Korean Coast Guard did.
You know how traumatic
I wonder how
it is?
long it took for the other boats to get there too, because it's just like imagine like kind of like can all y'all float and swim up here?
Nope, I can't swim.
I can, yeah.
I can swim.
You float and swim.
I can't float.
Swimming is one thing, because in that situation, and it's,
I was gonna say,
y'all know how fucked up that shit. Like, it ain't like you next to a dock or a beach where you can be like, I'm gonna swim back. If you can't float, you're fucked. Like, and floating is hard too, because y'all gotta understand. Yeah, some people can float for like 5 minutes and like be cool. if you're waiting to be rescued and y'all there for 40 minutes, you can get to the point where it's just like I can't anymore and just go under and you fuck. Like that's a horrible way.
Think about the people that didn't even make it outside of the boat that's drowning in. I don't even want to get too
under something.
Yeah, I don't even want to get too gruesome
outside,
with it.
You try to grab something and hold on to something.
You trapped in something upside down. You know where chairs that fell and stuff. And I don't.
Does it say like how many kids like survived?
Also, I'm pretty sure.
I'm gonna see if it broke it down.
I can't speak for SK. I'm pretty sure in America it's guidelines with boats. You can't have more passengers than life vests and safety boats, if I'm not mistaken, or anything too. So it's. That just seems so weird. Like, but the captain and the crew, I thought the fucking first rule of being a captain was you go down with the ship. Like, I could, like,
100%.
I thought that was kind of like, the Titanic fucking, the niggas still was playing going down with the ship. Like, so it's just like, not to make like light of the situation, but it's just like, what type time are like, y'all?
So it was the captain and crew member and 14 crew members were charged with homicide, fleeing an abandoned ship, and negligence. The captain got a life sentence. The chief engineer got 10 years and 18 months to 12 years between the 13 other crew members.
What year was this?
This happened in 2014. So
that not just happened.
Huh?
That did not just happen. Like 2014 was a long time ago.
Yeah, no, that's what I said. It just.
But yeah,
I said it just happened.
Right. Well, no, I know what you meant. You said it just happened in 2014. He was just like, oh, I thought you meant like it just happened like in 2019. That's cool.
Yeah, my fault. Because COVID got me fucked up with time. That's a whole. I feel like a whole decade went by.
No, but yeah, man, it was a like I said, this is a real dark time for the people, and like you said, the survivors. Imagine how traumatic that is with friends and everything like that going on. And then parents with kids, just family, just knowing someone in your neighborhood or anything like that, and seeing this happen to them, especially like I said, as kids, and then the principal overwrought with guilt over such a situation.
I don't even want to get too deep into some of the stuff. Like, even I wouldn't be surprised if it was more people than just the principal that took their own life.
Yeah,
that's why I kind of didn't want to say. It's like, imagine your best friend going like, "Damn, I didn't go on that trip. Now my best friend is gone," or like that's really crazy.
Yeah, and once I learned the story and I kind of heard the song, it definitely hit me a different way. And because I feel the sadness with BTS, and so obviously, I guess I don't want to give too much on one, just because when, like I said, the other guys, when we do the bigger video, we do that and everything like that. But I'll say for BTS, this was a very major song. It made them, according to some people, is what cemented their legacy or as legend status in Korea and lifted them above like other groups. For some people, like I said.
This might also be, and tell me if I'm wrong, probably one of their first big politically controversial.
This is definitely one of, like I said, I'm just assuming the fact that they went against the Korean government, yeah.
Because I've heard, like I said, I think they told me "Am I Wrong" is kind of like that, and a couple other tracks.
No.
Yeah, yeah. And no seems more like a conventional being like rebellious. This seems more like. You said people were being blackballed and like canceled because they were speaking out.
Yep.
So this seems like something that's a little bit more that like you would get in trouble a little bit more if the government didn't fuck with the song.
Yeah.
Versus something where you kind of tippy-toeing the subject. That's major. Zach, you grab the stuff at the door, please.
Yeah. So. Just looking at some more on the Sewell tragedy, but just with BTS. Like I said, this really boosted them up in 2017 to like another level. Like I said, just in Korea, they were beloved for this song, and a lot of Army calls this the Queen song because it's been charting ever since it dropped. It never fell off the charts over there in Korea. So that's indicative of how big of a song it is and everything like that. So, but like I said, I definitely feel this with every fiber, even more so with every tragedy we have going on here. Like I said, that's why we just want to dedicate this to the loved ones and family members of all those lost and all those impacted by the Uvalde and Buffalo shootings. Just because, like you said, something like this to happen, it's already bad enough. But for this to happen and you not get justice, you get a government cover up and everything like that, it's just
It's
bad.
fucked up on like 4 or 5 different fronts.
It's really bad, man. And I really applaud the guys for doing this, RM for doing this, because this, you know, sometimes artists can be selfish and be like, no, this means what I mean or what I want it to mean and everything like that. And maybe some foresight into what it could do for Korea and everything like that too. Not that that's bad or anything, but he probably letting them dedicate this to the tragedy and everything like that.
Shows the unselfishness.
Yeah, or
and
whoever made the decision. Maybe if
Yeah.
it wasn't him or something like that to dedicate the video to the tragedy, this is something, obviously, I'm not someone who gets lost in symbolism too much, but I'm an appreciate the gesture type of person. Something like this, if my loved one was impacted and I saw this would have really lifted my spirits. And I probably would have cried, but it would definitely be something that, you know, touch my heart and everything like that. And from what it sounds like, it's not only done it to the people impacted by the Sewell tragedy, but just people who've gone through things and are missing someone, lost someone, everything like that. And I love that for BTS, that this song is part of their, like, a legacy song for them over there in Korea and everything like that. I just think that's really dope, and it's well deserved, because it's not just a sad song that you won't sing. Like you said, I'll listen to this. So this, and then DNA, and boom, we got international phenomenons.
Yeah,
BTS.
the symbolism is crazy too. Like if you start getting really deep into this and just, you know what I mean, being like
you said the washed up clothes. There's everyone's drying up clothes, and then I'm walking out to the tree as the snow is melting and everything like that. You see the spring beginning. So
even if you use the train as the symbolic to like the ship or whatever, and like they were able to get off of it and get to the spring day. They left the train. The train was wintertime essentially, and they got into spring and stuff. Yep. It's a lot. You really, I can't wait to do the DKTV joint for this. It's probably gonna be the second joint, because Dang probably is gonna be our first joint. Spoiler alert. But yeah, I can't wait to get into those videos.
yeah, like I said, I want to save some for when everybody else who's here who liked the song and everything like that. So y'all had any thoughts? Yeah, like we said, peace and blessings and much love, and our condolences out to all those involved or affected by the Uvalde, Texas school shooting and the Taps in Buffalo mass shooting.
Or anyone just involved that went through that period.
If you lost someone
That's
due to
just
COVID
traumatic.
in the past few years,
That's what I say, COVID
or
situation.
depression, you know, anything going on, anything personal, you lost someone, this video is dedicated to you. And definitely love to Army for putting us on.
Yeah, jump in the
supporting our
comments.
guys.
Yeah, jump in the comments if y'all feel like talking. It's a safe place too. Yeah, but other than that, we love you guys. So definitely gonna holler at y'all. Peace.